President Trump's decision to end temporary protected status for Somalis in America is believed to be prompted by a viral article from a conservative activist. The article claims tax money stolen in fraud schemes in Minnesota, such as Feeding Our Future, is funding the Somali-based terror group Al-Shabaab. Lou Raguse, who has covered this story since the beginning, takes a closer look at the claims.
Their goal was to make as much money for themselves as they could.
Former U.S. Attorney Andy Lugar and lead prosecutor in the Feeding Our Future case, Joe Thompson, have always said greed was the motivating factor for the defendants in the theft of $300 million in taxpayer dollars during the pandemic. Now, an article in online conservative outlet City Journal makes an even more consequential claim that millions of those dollars landed in the hands of terrorists. The largest funder of Al-Shabaab is the Minnesota taxpayer, the headline reads. But evidence that has come out in court shows that the vast majority of the millions sent overseas by the thieves has gone to Kenya, not Somalia.
They were building an entire apartment building in Nairobi.
Several of the Somali-born defendants have family and connections in Kenya, where notably the money cannot be touched by the U.S. government or the Somalia-based terror group. But if any fraud money has been sent by defendants or their families to relatives in Somalia, an expert on Al-Shabaab says indirectly, the terror group would receive a cut.
Nobody has to mean to fund Al-Shabaab.
Former counterterrorism analyst at the U.S. State Department, Tricia Bacon, says Al-Shabaab taxes, or more accurately, extorts Somali people, which is how it funds itself.
But that's sort of the cost of doing business in Somalia, because the government has been so ineffective at protecting people from Al-Shabaab's extortion that, you don't really have a choice of whether or not to pay.
The feds believe that some fraud money inevitably ended up back in Somalia, but not nearly as much as the article states. GOP lawmakers have asked U.S. Attorney Daniel Rosen to investigate. Well, it's worth noting, though, that former U.S. Attorney Andy Lugar told me today that if there was any evidence of providing material support to a terrorist group, he definitely would have charged it, as he did in other cases while he was in that office. Julie.
Yeah, and worth noting, he has a great reputation. I mean, no one questions that. But would they be able to track the money that's going to Somalia? I know it's not as easy as just wiring someone money there. And if so, how much money do they think ultimately would have gone there?
You can't wire money to Somalia. There are ways that people can send money back to family members, which essentially consists of communicating with somebody there, paying somebody here, and then they'll pay the people in return over there. But long story short, they don't know. They don't have an idea. I've heard estimates from sources that it could be as much as $1 million or a little bit more, but nowhere near like the amount of money that's been sent to Kenya, as I reported.
All right. Thank you, Lou.
Yep.